Hello and welcome back to Conspiracy Cats. Happy Saturday. What have we got for you today? We've got Shed Rage High.
Why, you cotton picking!
I lost a bet with my daughter and the result was I had to leave that bit in. Anyway, we've got all the normal stuff tonight. However, tonight I am also on the Non Sequitur show at 8 PM Eastern Time and I'm really excited. I'm going to do some preparation by watching a show. I wonder who's on today.
Yeah, sure. So we're two very normal, reasonable people coming here for a discussion about objective reality.
Ooh, it's Del and Gav. They've come on for a reasonable discussion and a reasonable debate about science. I can't wait. I've got my popcorn. It's my dyslexia. Anyway, let's see how the reasonable debate is getting on.
This was a rocket I filmed myself at Cape Canaveral, Florida back in 2015, and you could see something like this.
Ooh, maybe I joined at the wrong time. Let me fast forward a bit and I'm sure I'll get to more reasonable science in a minute.
Okay,
You're speaking back, Steve.
Well, that was just uncalled for. I wonder how Del and Gav will react when actually presented with pictures of bendy water. Let's see.
There's a curve there in objective reality, as predicted by the globe and as done by observations that you can do yourself.
Now, they're really good pictures. I wonder what scientific rebuttal Del and Gav can give.
Well, yeah, you've got to be kidding me, right? You're showing me videos and images.
That's not quite the scientific argument I was hoping for, Gav. I hope this doesn't turn into a shambles. Let's fast forward to the end and see.
Del, as much as I want a dumpster fire, I'm not going to let you walk on me, Del. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. You want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. But you will not walk on me, Del. Do you understand?
Anyway, 8 PM Eastern Time tonight. Me and Flat Out Hero. Let's crack on.
So we're two very normal, reasonable people.
So who remembers this guy?
See the planets and they're round. They look round, okay?
Nathan, welcome back. I'm going to use your video to poke holes in all the common flat earth arguments. Is that okay with you?
I don't care.
Fandabidozy, thank you very much. So here's what's going to happen. Nathan, and I kid you not, is going to put a globe on his head, ask himself a question about flat earth, take the globe off his head, answer his own question, but wrong, and then we're going to correct him. I think I've got that right. Let's start.
So I want to know, if the earth was flat, right? Wouldn't it be the sunlight all the time? Daylight 24/7, okay? The sun is small and localized. So as I was showing you with this experiment, okay, the whole flat earth doesn't have to light up just because the sun's above it, okay? The sun is small and localized. So look into that.
Very nice words, but happens to be wrong.
If that's how it worked, the sun's angular size wouldn't stay at about 30 arc minutes in the sky. And you'd always be able to see it. Even if it was dark where you are, you'd be able to see it like looking at a spotlight on a stage in a play. Nonsense, that. Next.
Next, you gotta explain to me seasons. Seasons work on a flat earth, okay? The sun's path isn't making a perfect circle. It's called southern declination. The path expands and contracts annually, alternating every 6 months. That's why we have seasons. It's also why we have a sun analemma. Looks like an ant. It's got a real big body and a real small head.
Like that.
That's because it's not moving as fast when it's in the northern hemisphere. It's moving faster when it's in the southern hemisphere, because the sun does make a perfect 24-hour circuit, 360 degrees, or 360 degrees in 24 hours.
Wrong.
Absolute nonsense. You see, this man laughs at gravity because he thinks it's magic. But yet he's prepared to believe in some crazy force which takes the sun and then expands and contracts its path with no explanation whatsoever. Next.
And also, if the earth is flat and the sun's just going away from me, how come the sun don't shrink into a tiny little dot, huh? So, the sun doesn't shrink because of glare, ladies and gentlemen. The sun's going through more and more air as it gets closer to the horizon. So as it's going through all those layers of air, that air is magnifying the sun.
Wrong.
The idea that refraction maintains a sun's angular size and perfectly balances a loss in size that we'd expect to see due to perspective is ludicrous for a million reasons. But here's one. Refraction will be dependent on the temperature of that day and at that particular place, as that affects the density of the air, which after all is what drives refraction. So we would expect to see huge differences in the angular size of the sun on a day-to-day basis. Unbelievable.
Also, boats, when they disappear behind the curve, the boats that go behind the curve, guys. Come on, everybody knows this. I learned this in 2nd grade. So boats disappear, yeah, they do, because we can't see forever. You gotta zoom in on the boats.
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
So this suggestion that boats never go over the horizon, they just get too small in terms of their angular size to see, it's not a new one, but it is a stupid one. But I haven't got a P1000 and I haven't got access to a big boat. I need a hero. Is there a hero that can help me out with a P1000?
Well guys, as promised, I've managed to get onto the racetrack.
Yes, Ranty, you did get on the racetrack and we all loved it. But for one last time, can you show these flat earthers a boat going over the horizon, please?
He's a hero. Ranty's a hero and he'll hero till the end of the night. 'Cause he's got a camera, and
So please, tell me what the heck planets are. The flat earth don't know what planets are. You can't look up and see the planets. Planets is obviously there. Sun and moon. The moon is obviously flat, guys. It has no properties of a ball reflecting light. The moonlight is cold. All the features on the sun are the same. Reflected balls have something called a specular highlight. There's a really good video on the moon being flat. If you need it, message me. I'll get you that video right away.
Wrong.
Wrong. The reason there's no specular highlight on the moon is because when the light from the sun hits it, it reflects off in all different directions. It's not as though the moon is made from a perfectly smooth sphere of glass or a perfectly smooth bubble of water. Number two, the moon is definitely not flat. When you look at the moon over the course of a month, because of its elliptical orbit, we see the moon wobble and we can actually get a peek behind the edges. We can do that ourselves. Now, the most amazing thing about Nathan's video is what he says at the end. Here, he talks about kicking flat earthers out of his Facebook group for saying absolute nonsense without bringing any evidence. Hypocrisy is amazing.
Because flat earthers want to have legit arguments. We want to, we don't want to run around saying things that aren't true. I booted a flat earther yesterday for saying Earth moves upward. I asked him for proof. He didn't have any proof. He just said, I don't need proof. Well, you're gone, okay? That's not how it works.
So, time for Shed Rage High. But while Del and Gav are busy on the Non Sequitur show, we're going to look at Shed Rage High, Australia, where flat earther Scotty Storm has followed Del's example and set up his own school. Here he is, looking for his own nipples. 1, 2, yeah, I've got mine. Now, I believe he's found his nipples since, and he's sat preparing for his debate against rhetoric later on tonight by looking at one of his favourite science documentaries, and he's gripped. Let's see how he does.
Tiny kangaroo down, sport. Tiny kangaroo down.
It's play school. Imagine what it'd be like if the whole world was made out of paper. Paper hair, paper noses, paper clothes. Pretty funny, wouldn't it?
I'm not made of paper, but I'm making something with paper. There. Now what could this be?
Bless him, he looks like he's having fun. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Scotty Storm said this.
Okay? And if anyone wants to fucking debate me, you fucking better bring it on. I will fucking rip your new arsehole so I can fuck.
And tonight he gets his wish. He debates rhetoric after me on the Non Sequitur show. Now, Scotty Storm has got a pretty poor record in debates. He doesn't tend to hang around for long. Now, I predict that the first time rhetoric actually asks him a question and demands an answer, this is what we'll see. But who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong and he'll stick around for more than 5 minutes. Chatbox travels.
If you want to, I'll change the situation.
So we haven't got many entrants today for our Chatbox travels, but we do have our first ever Twitter entrance. Here we go.
Hey, Real Slavic. Don't squeeze me too tight, pal. See you soon.
We have this Brilliant comment.
Thank you, Philip Kidd. I'll let you all read that yourselves.
And he's right, and this is something we can all do. We can take a pendulum of any length and we can predict the time taken for a full oscillation. Now, you will notice that this has got nothing to do with mass. But what has it got to do with? Little g. Next.
Hey, conspiracy cats, I'm going to do you a favour by responding to you and your 6,000 subs. I want to tell you that there you are. You are fat, out of shape, a bald-headed douchebag, and you're pretending to read some silly book.
Right, I'm going to stop you right there. How dare you? This is not a silly book.
When I play tennis and the ball is wet, you can see the water flying everywhere. So there's no such thing as centrifuge force. I'm really confused. Did I mean centripetal?
Yet another example how a complete misunderstanding of the heliocentric model and basic science confuses someone to the point that they think the Earth is flat. Next.
My name is Mr. Drobot. This hairless rat is deluded and is retarded. I don't like him.
I do like the guy below, though. Thanks, pal.
A familiar face is up next. I wonder if you can tell who it is.
Good evening, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. I'm here to tell you that the horizon does in fact rise to eye level. There is no measurable curve and the globe is actually physically impossible. And I have done my research, so I know this to be true.
So that was a comment left by Phuket Word. But Philip Weinberg says this.
Bollocks. Now, this is only one of many, many quality comments from this man.
So what seemed like for an absolute age, Philip Weinberg here educated Phuket World just on normal basic science. I wonder if that would have rubbed off. Anyway, Philip Weinberg, for your patience, this is for you. Now, I'm going to go and prepare for tonight's debate against Flat Out Hero, but before I do, I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a while. It made me giggle. Night night.